Well, one nation that has totally eliminated Russian supply from its energy mix is Lithuania. They were the first EU country to do so. And the former president of Lithuania joins us now from the capital, Vilnius. Madam President, it's great to have you on the program. Thank you so much for joining us.
Hi.
Hi. So when we spoke a couple of weeks ago, you were, as usual, standing very, very firm on the need for NATO allies and the EU to push back on Russia. Have they done enough in your view so far?
No, not enough at all, neither militarily, neither economically. Our sanctions are with loopholes, allowing Putin to survive, even to restore ruble situation. And on militarily front also, the Ukraine is asking for more and more efficient weaponry, and we are still lacking behind of this request. On energy, I heard your intro, and I'm very proud that we, Lithuania, capable to say that from 1st of April, we are not pumping Russian oil through our pipelines at all.
I don't know if you heard as well the Austrian finance minister weighing in there and saying that they are not in favor of any sanctions on Russian energy because they depend so much on those supplies. Do you believe that has got to end if there is any chance at all of exerting real and lasting pressure on President Putin?
Yes, we, with our energy trade, with energy resources from Russia, we are paying for a military machine of Putin's war. And this is neither ethically, neither morally not acceptable anymore. Lithuania did its homework. We knew that Russia is using energy resources as geopolitical tool. It is not economy, it is not trade purely, it is not just commerce, it's a geopolitical influence tool. And why we were going fast, and in 2015 we built LNG terminal. So we are fully 100% not dependent with Gazprom and Russian gas. And we're able to do this. While some other countries allowed Russia to invest and corrupt their political establishment. And now what we're seeing, tied hands of some European countries, exactly the example and results of this political corruption done by Russia.
We've heard President Joe Biden calling Vladimir Putin a war criminal. President Zelensky says that he is a perpetrator of genocide in Ukraine. Do you have any expectation that the UN is going to do anything about what's happening in Ukraine, given what we've seen so far from international institutions?
I remember after 2014 Crimea occupation, I was the first leader who said that Russia is terrorist state. Nothing happened. Now we're seeing these atrocities which are practically seen everywhere around the world, and Russia overshooted all the red lines of all of us, all of the West and its own. And until now, we're hearing only condemnations and some sanctions, which are also not in full implemented. This is practically what we're demonstrating until now is the weakness of the West to react appropriately. This country and Putin's Russia with bloody face, and they will never stop until they will be stopped. And we have perfect opportunity to stop them in Ukraine, and we're not using this still in full.
When you think about this a bit more broadly, we've heard threats from President Putin himself suggesting that basically his finger is on the nuclear arsenal. You understand, perhaps better than most, being right there along that Eastern European border, what his threats really mean. And we're seeing those play out in Ukraine. Should the West be worried?
No, because that's exactly what he's willing to see. He's frightening, and we're stepping backwards. That's what is now you can see how NATO is behaving. No, we are not afraid to live already on this border, and we need to show in the West the courage to react appropriately. The more we will be committed to fight back, the less he will interact with us, because he understands only the power and the position of strength. But if we will be demonstrating that we frightened, he will go ahead and push us even more. So why on the border, smaller nations, we're not afraid. We're ready to fight. And we are doing this with our energy posture. We will be paying more for energy resources, yes, but this war, the price to pay for freedom and independence. And independence also not only just political, but also economic independence. And this how the West generally needs to react.
Madam President, when you think about this as an observer of President Putin's term in office over the last 2 decades, there have been a lot of questions recently about the mental state of President Putin. Is he well? Is there something happening in terms of his health? Have you seen any indication in his actions over the last 6 to 12 months that would lead you to believe that this is a man who's actually lost his grip?
It's from our side will be pure speculation. What we have been seeing, and from the very first of my meeting with him in 2010, it was clear that he has the goals, he has the vision of the world, he wants to restore the great empire of Russia and everything else, or you loyal friend or your enemy. There is nothing in between. And the friends have been invested, bought, corrupted. That's how he was creating his friendship with some political establishment in at least in some countries. So from this point of view, he was dangerous 10 or 15 years ago, and he's dangerous now. And why we have no choice in the West but to be very strong, very committed, and to push him back. He needs to be beaten on the soil of Ukraine and thrown out from Ukraine immediately. Otherwise, we will be facing even larger problem on our hands.
Madam President, do you think if we had more women running European countries and running the United States, we might have a different result?
Probably it not depends on gender, on personality matters. You need to have personalities with leadership qualities to, especially to be in office while such critical situations occurring in the world.
Madam President, we're going to have to leave it there. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.